I loved you quietly. You know what hurts the most about loving someone who doesn't love you back? It's not the rejection. It's not even the heartbreak. It's the fact that you have to pretend it never happened. I loved you quietly for 3 years. 3 whole years of stolen glances across coffee shops, of memorizing the way you laughed at other people's jokes, of watching you fall for everyone except me. And nobody knew. Not your best friend Sarah, who always asked me why I was still single. Not your sister, who used to tease me about finding someone good enough. Definitely not you. Do you remember that night at Jake's party when you cried in the bathroom because Marcus had ghosted you? I was the one who handed you tissues through the door. I was the one who drove you home at 2 a.m. while you sobbed about how nobody ever chooses me. I wanted to scream, I choose you. I've been choosing you every single day for 3 years. But I didn't. Because that's what loving someone quietly means. You swallow your words like bitter medicine and smile when they tell you about their latest heartbreak. I became an expert at loving you in silence. I learned your coffee order by heart, medium caramel macchiato, extra shot, oat milk. I started listening to the bands you loved, even the ones I hated. I watched every movie you recommended, even those terrible romantic comedies that made me want to throw my remote at the TV. I loved you through your phases. Your yoga phase when you'd post those sunrise meditation photos. Your book club phase when you'd analyze every character's motivation for hours. Your dating app phase. God, that one nearly killed me. Do you know how many nights I lay awake wondering what those guys had that I didn't? Was I too familiar? Too safe? Too there? The worst part was watching you date my opposite. Remember Tyler? The guy who couldn't remember your middle name after 6 months, who never asked about your job, your dreams, your fears. You lit up for him in ways you never did for me. I sat through dinner after dinner, listening to you dissect every text he sent. What do you think he meant by sounds good? Do you think he's losing interest? And I'd analyze his words like some relationship detective, all while dying inside. Your friends started joking that I should charge for therapy sessions. Our resident love guru, they'd call me. If only they knew their guru was the most clueless person in the room when it came to love. I mastered the art of the supportive friend. You deserve better. His loss. The right person will see how amazing you are. All true statements, all killing me to say. But here's the thing about loving someone quietly. You start to lose yourself in their happiness. I stopped dating completely. Why would I, when no one could compare to you? I turned down dates, ignored flirtations, built walls around my heart that only had one door, and you held the only key. My sister used to ask me why I never brought anyone home anymore. My mom started that subtle parent pressure. When are you going to find a nice girl? My friends tried setting me up on blind dates. I had excuses for everything. The truth was simpler and more complicated. I was already taken by someone who would never take me back. I celebrated your successes like they were my own. Got promoted? I was the first to suggest champagne. Finished that painting you'd been working on for months. I helped you find the perfect frame. Your nephew's first steps. I watched your joy and felt my heart swell with pride for someone who wasn't even mine to be proud of. I grieved your losses deeper than anyone knew. When your grandmother passed, I saw the light go out of your eyes for weeks. I brought you soup, sat with you in silence, held space for your grief. You said I was the only person who truly understood your pain. I understood it because your pain was my pain. Your happiness was my happiness. Your life had become the lens through which I viewed my own. The breaking point came on your birthday last year. Remember? You were single again. Tyler had proven to be exactly the disappointment I knew he would be. I spent weeks planning the perfect day. Your favorite brunch spot, that art exhibit you'd mentioned wanting to see, dinner at the place where you had your first job interview celebration. At the end of the night, sitting on your couch, you looked at me with tears in your eyes and said, "I don't know what I'd do without you. You're the most important person in my life." And for one insane moment, I thought maybe this was it. Maybe you finally saw me the way I saw you. Then you said, "You're like the brother I never had." Brother, that word hit me like a physical blow. Brother, safe, familiar, family, everything I was to you and nothing I wanted to be. I went home that night and cried for the first time in years. Not just tears, ugly body-shaking sobs that came from 3 years of suppressed hope finally dying. That's when I realized the cruelest truth about loving someone quietly. They get all the benefits of your love without any of the responsibility. They get your loyalty, your support, your unconditional care, and they never have to worry about breaking your heart because they don't even know they hold it. I started pulling back after that. Not dramatically. I couldn't handle the conversation that would require, just gradually. Slower responses to texts. "Sorry, I'm busy" became my most used phrase. I started saying no to your invitations, started making plans that didn't include you. You noticed, of course. "Are you okay? You seem distant lately." How could I explain that distance was the only thing keeping me sane? The hardest part was watching you worry about our friendship while having no idea you were mourning something that never existed in the first place. You were losing a best friend. I was losing the love of my life. 3 months ago, you started dating again. Someone new this time, David. He seems nice, actually. Stable. The kind of guy who remembers anniversaries and brings flowers just because. The kind of guy you deserve. The kind of guy I wanted to be for you. You're happy now. Really happy. I can see it in your smile, hear it in your voice when you talk about him. And despite everything, despite the 3 years of quiet heartbreak, I'm genuinely glad. Because that's what love is, isn't it? Wanting someone's happiness, even when it doesn't include you. I'm learning to love you differently now. From a distance that doesn't hurt quite so much. I'm learning to be happy for your happiness without needing to be the source of it. I'm also learning to love myself again, to see my worth outside of your validation, to imagine a future where someone chooses me first, loves me loudly, celebrates me the way I celebrated you. But sometimes late at night, I still think about those 3 years, about all the words I never said, all the chances I never took, about the parallel universe where I was brave enough to risk our friendship for something more. In that universe, maybe you loved me back. Maybe quiet love became loud love. Maybe we're planning our future instead of me mourning our past. But in this universe, I loved you quietly, and that will have to be enough. If you're reading this, no, you're probably not. But if you are, know that those 3 years weren't wasted. They taught me what real love feels like. They showed me I'm capable of putting someone else's happiness before my own. They proved I can love deeply, completely, even when it's not returned. That's not nothing. That's everything. I loved you quietly, and now I'm learning to love myself loudly. And maybe that's the most beautiful ending I could have asked for.